Hi.
Man, you start this one, Jesse.
I wasn't taking a selfie. I put my phone over here.
You doing a TikTok?
No, I wasn't doing a TikTok.
He's pulling a
I don't do
Kardashian.
Yes, I guess today we're going to talk about Kanye West. You know, Kanye West's presidential run and his slide into possible insanity, but I hope not. I hope not. I mean, I like Kanye.
Hasn't he been doing that for years?
Can't tell me
Supposedly.
nothing right.
Well, she's saying because I mean, I guess he was diagnosed as bipolar and stuff like that, and or I believe it was bipolar, and there's. Do you watch the TMZ video of him and because you know he like accused
Oh, dude, where he's going
he
after
like
that.
accused Kim of like cheating possibly on Twitter. Did you see that?
I did not.
Because she like supposedly when they were doing that the prison reform, she met with somebody and he brought it up in a tweet. I think he might have deleted it now, but he like brought it up in the tweet like, hey, yeah, when she met with blah blah blah. So he insinuated that she had cheated with someone, and then she came out and she posted about him having some mental health issues and trying to ask for people to be understanding and that kind of thing. And then the other day, I think it was like yesterday, there was a TMZ video of her and him going and getting Wendy's together and then like fighting in the car. It looked like she'd been crying and stuff. But it looks like they might be
they
working.
eat Wendy's?
They stopped. I believe it was at
Wendy's.
Wendy's. I believe they stopped at Wendy's because they were like TMZ. They're like they went on a really romantic date to. I think it was Wendy's.
TMZ is garbage, dude.
Yeah, but they had. It just popped up on my feed. Maybe it's because I'd been typing, writing about Kanye
here
or
it is.
something. And
I want to apologize to my wife, Kim K. Please forgive me.
oh, he did apologize, huh?
A sign of hope, Kanye
didn't
West
see
just
that.
apologized to Kim Kardashian for a flurry of public jabs asking for her forgiveness. Kanye took to Twitter Saturday apologizing, writing, I would apologize to my wife, to him going public about something that was a private matter.
And I don't know if she cheated or not, but he is at least concerned about it.
Well, and but here's the thing: is they live in the limelight. He's very Trump-esque in that scenario. What do you think? Or did you ever watch the Kardashian show at all?
Briefly.
Did you like it?
No. I'm probably not the person to ask about that show.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is what do you know about Kanye West?
Pretty little. More that he had a large conversion like a couple years ago, and he's very Christian and very open about being Christian. And that, according to some articles, he's kind of gone off the rails and gone a little crazy. But that's kind of my extent of it. And then obviously he's made music for a long time.
What do you think about getting away from the conservative party in general, like red or blue? Do you normally vote like? Are you registered like a Republican, Democrat?
I'm registered as a Republican.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you always been registered that way, or have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesse, you're registered Republican, right?
I am now. I was registered as a Democrat years ago, and then I switched over because I wanted it. Because doesn't Kansas have a Republican caucus?
Well,
because we wanted to do the Republican caucus to see how the caucus.
And they wouldn't let us. Because I'm an independent.
You were an independent
and
at the time.
I refused to register.
Yeah, and that was
Which
the
is
problem
bullshit.
because I just wanted to see. I wanted to see what the caucus was like.
Yeah, me too.
And and then my other idea about it was, okay, I live in a red state. I'd rather try to pick the best Republican I can get because they're going to win my state anyway, right? So I was like trying to hedge my bets and hopefully nudge the right Republican in there or something, which a lot of times none of them are very good either. But
yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the reason I asked is because I'm down for a third party, and it's time for the two-party system to die, filter out, or at least give us something more of a Ross Perot type of debate style where there's three people on the debate stage, not just two people being able to take specific talking points that are going to benefit the conservatives and the Democrats. We don't want that anymore.
I feel like a lot of people have shifted to like a blend of both parties. I mean, I feel that way about myself and my views.
Well, it's because most people are moderate.
Yeah, and I think we need a moderate instead of just these bipolar ends, and it's not good for our country. And I feel like both parties probably have a little bit too much power.
There is an article, Understanding Kanye West's Bipolar Disorder, MedPage Today, which I have no idea what that is.
I think part of his, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like some of the media stories are not exactly fair, you know, and I think they're overplaying a bit of his mental illness. And maybe I'm wrong, but I think because, you know, he's also coming out against Biden, right? You know, and he's been trying to get more, he wants, you know, his idea is to get more of the black vote. And he's already come out as like a, you know, pro MAGA, at least at one time, if he was being honest then, but he's kind of always pushed more of a pro Trump idea. So, you know, I think they want to cut against him to make sure that he doesn't pull votes away from Biden.
Which is sad if they use that card, the bipolar card, because a lot of other people in our country, I mean, in the world, like, have bipolar disorder. They do function. And I don't think we should hold that, like, against somebody. Like, just discredit them because they have bipolar disorder.
Well, you know, and they talked about, because I watched a lot of his, he held an event, right? He held a
like a rally or
yeah,
something.
but he didn't. I don't think they had any. I don't think they had any real professional camera crew, right? So it was just like, people in the audience filming. And so what they attacked him on is that he cries during the event. You know, they're like, oh, he goes into tears and stuff like that. Well, at the time when he does that, he was talking about how when Kim was originally pregnant with Northwest, that, you know, they were talking about getting an abortion, you know, and that's when he, you know, and he's like, I almost had my, my wife get an abortion, you know, with this child. And he kind of breaks down about that. And then the other time when he cries, at least the only 2 times I saw, when he was talking about his dad wanted him aborted.
Yeah.
You know, and I think in that context, I think it's perfectly okay to cry at those situations.
Yeah.
Like, those are both horrific, you know, and
do you think that's going to hurt his
I get that.
run? Like, okay, so he came out and ran in 2020, or shortly said that he was going to run for president.
He's still technically running. Like,
Yeah,
I know they
trying
said his campaign stopped, but
Yeah.
I mean, I know he doesn't have a real campaign.
Yeah, no, he's trying to garnish like write-ins to get on the ballot.
He says
So-
he had some kind of thing. He's like, I could beat Joe Biden just with write-ins or something like that. Which
he
would
does
be
not
pretty
like
tough.
Joe Biden at all.
No, he certainly doesn't.
Do you think that with what's going on? I mean, here's the thing: is it's hard to tell now because, you know, with everything that's coming out about Joe Biden, everything that's coming about Trump. Do you think that this would even be a hindrance? Because how many presidents have we had that have been bipolar? Probably more than what we'd like to think.
Well, with mental illness, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure certainly
The
some.
stress of the job alone.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And everything else that goes into it.
I don't think that would be tremendously held against him as long as he was, you know, kind of keeping it together well enough.
Because you could take him out.
I think he might really run in 2024. I think it's very possible.
You could always take him out with the Amendment 25.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I think it's possible we might move more towards the celebrity type presidents. You know, after Trump, maybe not in 4 years, but it's possible we eventually do, because people, you know, who already have name recognition, the only people who can really play against Democrats and Republicans who are not Democrats and Republicans are people who have very high name recognition.
Well, hopefully, and that's what I was wondering. So, do you think he'd run as a conservative, or do you think he'd do an independent run?
If he doesn't run, I mean, his only option other than an independent run is Republican. That would be potentially what he does just to get on the debate stage. But my guess is, because right now I think he said he's running as like the birthday party or something like that.
Yeah.
What he called it.
That's something
And I
ridiculous.
think that's funny. I don't know what he'll do in 4 years. I feel like he's going to actually run, though. If him and Kim can hold it together, you know, and they can solidify whatever they do have, I think it's very possible. I don't know what support would look like.
I wonder what it would look like on a debate stage with him. Because I could see, you know, we talked about Jesse Ventura, very good debater.
Yeah,
you know, proven himself, and when he became I think the first independent governor of Minnesota, and just trounced Republican and Democrat there. And then you look at Andrew Yang, he's going to be stronger in 2024, I believe. And he might even be...
I think he will too, because he's still young and he's smart.
Still young, yeah.
And I think if he works on that charisma piece and just keeps working on it,
Yeah.
like sharpening his message. Keep going, though.
And stop with the whipped cream. But
I think you should always pour whipped cream in dudes' mouths.
Oh my
You
gosh.
ever seen
Did
that?
you
Have you
see
seen
that?
No.
So
I don't know if
we,
I want to.
we talked about this on our last podcast, our last segment, and there was a supporter, and he came up to Andrew Yang and with whipped cream. He's like, "Hey, pour it in my mouth," and he's bending over and like
Guy gets on his
looking up
knees.
at him and pouring it in. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, guy gets
Oh
like
my
he
gosh.
fills his mouth up with whipped cream.
Why?
Because Yang's cool, man.
That's what you do.
Yang's
guess.
just, I think
It-
Yang's down to earth, but
It seems semi-sexual, but and maybe it was intended to be. So I'm not sure. But
I think, but here, my thoughts are that Kanye West would be very entertaining. Would America? I see here, and people keep talking about how much do presidents like put fear into people? You got the talks about Reagan, then you got people like President Obama and his foreign affairs. You know, would Kanye West do any damage to us? You know what I mean in that regards, or is it more of our state leaders, like the that are diplomats that have those relationships with those foreign entities?
well, I mean, if you look at like Trump, I mean, because one thing that Trump's done is it's shown that the executive power, the executive branch only has so much power, and he can only do so much. And I mean, basically, he can be kind of kept in check. Like even if he did have fascist tendencies, which I don't think he does, even if he was a fascist, the system can still prevent that from going too crazy, right?
Yeah.
So if Kanye won, I mean, he would just be a figurehead. He'd be very loud, and the government would continue to do what they want unless he could use the bully pulpit to force him to act in some ways.
That's interesting.
Would you vote for Kanye West?
I'm not sure if I would at this point.
I know a couple of his
I'd
big
have
things
to-
is religion.
Yeah.
Like really heavily pushing religion. He was going after abortion providers, and he's become very anti-abortion, and he's saying they're putting abortion in low-income areas to kill off, to get more and more black people, Hispanic people to have abortions. So there's fewer of them even alive. Those were a couple of his big things, and.
I just wonder, when we look at his tumultuous past, and have you seen, Andy, the blow up he had at TMZ headquarters? Like where he's like screaming at people in the office. Have you seen that YouTube video?
I haven't seen that, but I mean, I think the one thing that would help Kanye is how well known it is, right? Because like the same thing with Trump. I mean, Trump
Yeah.
was like a philanderer, liked to have sex with all these women, like do all this stuff, right? But we already knew that about Trump. So then when you start talking about it, other than maybe the sexual assault stuff, if there's nothing new with Kanye and it's already out there, probably doesn't hurt him that much.
How do you feel about this, Andy? Asked about the development of COVID-19 vaccine, West said, it's so many of our children that are being vaccinated and paralyzed. So when they say
Maybe
we're
he's the
going
wrong
to
word. I don't know.
fix COVID with the vaccine, I'm extremely cautious. That's the mark of the beast.
He's been pushing
Interesting.
They want to put chips.
tremendously.
They want to put chips inside of us. They
Did he
want to
say
do all
that?
kinds of things to make it like we can't cross the gates of heaven. Rejecting medical science, West said coronavirus was all about God. We need to stop doing things to make God mad.
He's been going super
Interesting.
like a very strict religious point of view. But you know how many people are into that? I mean, like you'd think, oh yeah, that's crazy. There's a lot of people that if you add up some of my conspiracy theory friends and then some of my religious fundamentalist friends, that's a lot of people.
Would that
You know,
thing would that make you not want to vote for me, Andy?
Yeah, it doesn't have a good light for me.
You can't look past it.
I could. I mean,
It
I
dep-
don't know, like, if that comment would actually come to mean anything later on. I mean,
So I wonder if he ran as an independent, it'd be really interesting to see like who the other two people were. Say there was
Yeah.
3 people, because I mean, if you had 2 like decent candidates, you know what I mean, it'd be hard for him to win. I think.
it'd be hard
Is
for
even-
Kanye to win.
Yeah, would it even be viable?
define decent candidate. I mean, where are
Yeah.
these decent candidates? Like, I mean,
That's what I'm
mean,
saying.
I mean,
Why
how
were
many-
they
Like
now?
Andrew Yang.
How many
like
decent
Andrew Yang in
candidates would-
2020? So if Andrew Yang in 2024 ran against Kanye West,
I don't think that Yang ever got more than like 10% of the vote. Maybe he was like, I think there was a lot of times he was like 5 to 8% even at his highest. And I think Kanye. I mean, what percentage of the black vote could he pull? What percentage of I'm not. I just don't know what he. I just don't know what he could possibly do. But he'd have to keep his shit together. Like if he was going to do it, he'd have to be on message and pull himself together. And he could still be bombastic. He could still be like Trump, in some ways, in the way he speaks and what he says. But he's still going to have. He's going to have be a little more orderly than absolutely chaotic. Because when he came out in that one, when he came out and had his one campaign event, came out in a bulletproof vest and stuff. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I did see that.
And it's like, I don't dislike it. It's pretty funny. I kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
What do you think about Kim Kardashian being the first lady?
I mean, I guess I wouldn't be against it. I don't know. I guess I don't know what it takes to be a first lady besides being married to the president.
So what do you? So
she has a lot of talents, I hear. I'm sorry.
So what do you think about as far as like first ladies and their like because everybody loves to talk about Michelle Obama and a lot of things that she's done as far as like getting like snacks and stuff at schools and kind of her initiatives on.
Yeah, she hated the fat kids.
I wouldn't say that, but like in her initiatives on things that she did. I mean, Kim Kardashian did get that one lady out of prison.
No, she helped with prison reform. Her and Kanye. So I'm actually not. I actually don't really make fun of him. I was just playing around a bit. I wouldn't hold the idea that she's been in a porn video against her or something like that.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean, if we have
it's 2020.
other...
Who hasn't these days?
Oh gosh. Well, if we have other people like Bill Clinton, some other people.
Yeah.
With the whole Jeffrey Epstein stuff, I mean, where are our standards these days?
Was Kanye ever on Epstein's plane? I don't think he would ever be on Epstein's plane.
I don't know.
No, I don't.
He
I
can
don't
afford
think
his
so.
own plane. I don't know.
I don't know of a lot of. They did talk about Chris Tucker being at the island because I was going to say.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a lot about a lot of black people being there. I did hear some information though that they were told not to target black girls or something like that to get like in terms of the girls they were trying to recruit and groom. They were trying to specifically get, I believe, mostly white girls.
What the hell?
Interesting.
That came out just a few days ago. That's the only reason I say it. So, the chances that Kanye would have been there, I don't think so.
So, Dr. Phil says, containment, best thing Kanye West family can do. So, I don't know. This is my problem with people that, he puts himself out there, and then everyone tries to tear him down. And I don't like that. That's why I think we need a third party. We need something to shock the system to be like, hey, we got to stop this identity politics bullshit. Because it's doing nothing but hurting us. Because right now, Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump and Barack Obama and George Bush and Bill Clinton, they've all used that against us to push an agenda. And we've got to at some point break free from it. So if it's electing somebody like Kanye West that's like just super crazy, I mean, it's like, I'm not saying I would ever vote for him, but like, damn. I mean, it's shocked. But think about like when you first heard about it, what were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much shock. Like, really?
Were you wondering like, man, could he actually win?
Yeah, I was definitely wondering
I thought that. It's so tumultuous right now, and everybody's up in the air. I was like, man, Kanye West could actually win.
Well, I mean, when Trump first announced, I thought, oh, this is a sideshow. Like, oh, this is a joke. This isn't real.
The conspiracy theory.
And then so, and now it's like, okay, now that Trump's been president, do I think it's that crazy? I don't know. I'm not sure what to think anymore. Mm-hmm. Do I think that he could run and get 5-10% of the vote? I mean,
I think he could.
Yeah.
I think he could poll.
Just because of his name.
I think he could poll at 5 or 10%, potentially. Maybe people would be too scared to vote for him. I don't know that that's true. Would he get a lot of people to come out and vote for him? That a lot of younger people and stuff who
listen to his music.
Who are not necessarily worried about every single little thing being true that he says, right?
So there is a video on YouTube of the McDonald's incident. That's crazy.
Of the what?
TMZ, man, they just
the
blast.
They
blast anything.
Because Kim and Kanye were trying to make up and stuff, and they were in a car together.
Oh, they
show the photo, and it looks like Kim's been crying, and
I thought it was Wendy's.
Well, I think they do stop at Wendy's, but they like followed him around, to get some pictures of them in the car. I hate
can't believe
TMZ. I would have never clicked on. Like I I don't support TMZ in any way, shape, or form. But sometimes, yeah, it was Wendy's, I guess.
Yep.
Sometimes though, TMZ does break some interesting stories.
Yeah.
You know, and
They pay for it.
yeah. I mean, they obviously work hard to get what they did, but sometimes, man,
Talk
it's
about
like,
the free
come on.
advertisement for Wendy's.
Yeah.
I am a little surprised having that much money that you would go to Wendy's. I mean,
Wendy's is good,
Whatever.
man. I'm not gonna lie.
I like Wendy's.
I mean,
I
I
like
like
Wendy's.
it, but I don't know.
Actually, I had a
can
spicy
I can
chicken
see
sandwich
Kanye
today.
just- they're just arguing and they're on the way home. It's like, I want a
It's
sandwich.
He's like dipping his fry, like she's got his frosty, and he's like dipping his fries in his
Can you
frosty.
imagine working at that Wendy's and like, dude,
It's Kanye West.
It's Kanye.
It's Kim Kardashian. He's like playing the song "Can't Tell Me Nothing," like while she's crying.
I don't hate Kanye though, man, and I thought some of his stuff, like I think some of it's true and real, and I think he's trying to be honest. Like when he he had that meeting inside the White House with Trump.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
dude,
he
they
was talking
blasted him
about
for that.
He was talking about how he never really had a relationship with his father and stuff like that, and basically almost being like a kid and having like a father figure in his life, and when talking about and it's kind of it's hyperbolic, whatever, but he's talking about putting on the MAGA hat and being like a little Superman cape when he was a little boy, like he never had that father figure in his life, and I actually found some of it touching, I thought it was pretty good, and if he could hit the right notes, I mean he could possibly pull more votes than people I like Tulsi Gabbard or Andrew Yang, it's like.
Yeah. I guess I can appreciate that about him, is that he is more real than your typical politician.
He's just got to figure out, like, he's got to stick to what he knows and try to stay out of what he doesn't know. Like when he gets in the vaccines and stuff, and he'll say some crazy stuff because it's maybe he heard just some conspiracy theory stuff and ran with it, or he's not even necessarily being honest. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to think about that part of him. But he reminds me of Trump in some ways.
You think if he got into office, he'd listen to his advisors and does he? This is a really dumb question, but does the president does pick who he surround his cabinet?
They-
Okay.
and all those kind of things. Yeah,
You should have people that help you with the transition period. Like Chris Christie helped Trump with his transitional period from when he was president-elect to becoming president.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they do pick their cabinet. And that's what Trump got a whole bunch of shit for when he said he was going to drain the swamp and put some really bad choices in there. Then I became like, I was like, dude,
Yeah.
Trump, come on, bro.
I think he was trying to get some people that knew the system in there, but obviously there wasn't some, but of course a lot of people wouldn't work with him either, so he I think his options were also limited.
Yeah.
And that's why he had people like Jeff Sessions in there and stuff like that. And not that I hate Jeff Sessions, it's just, some people didn't do as good a job as they could have.
Forbes has a really good article. I mean, it talks about discussion with race to the White House on Democrats. That is a form of racism and white supremacy and white control to say that all black people need to be Democratic and to assume me running is splitting the vote. All that information is being charged up on social media platforms by Democrats, and Democrats choose to tell me the same Democrats have threatened me. The reason why this is the first day I registered to vote is because I was scared. I was told that if I voted for Trump, my music career would be over. I was threatened into being in one party. I was threatened as a celebrity into being in one party. I was threatened as a black man into being in the Democratic Party, and that's why the Democrats are doing emotionally, Democrats are doing emotionally to my people, threatening them to the point where a white man can tell a black man, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. That is
Yeah.
a shots fired at Joe Biden.
Yeah, so
Oh my
because
God.
Yeah.
a lot of this came after
Yeah.
Joe Biden. I was going to mention that, but yeah, that's a great quote, and I'd read it before, and it's good stuff, and it's honest, and he's right. Nobody shouldn't. I mean, the Democratic Party shouldn't just count on the black vote, and you shouldn't be forced, or strong arm into voting for the Democratic Party.
It's weird that he feels like his career would be over. So I think that if he did run as an independent party, what I'm saying is I think that initial fear, if it's not going to be in 2020, he says, let's see if appointing is at 2020 or if it's 2024, because God appoints the president. If I win 2020, then it's God's appointment. If I win 2024, then it was God's appointment. So again, he's very religious. But I think that he will be able to handle the media better now that he's going through it. This initial exposure, his exposure with Trump, like him coming out and saying that, I think it will help him handle a lot of the hate he's going to receive, even if he does run as an independent, even in 2024.
I did like that quote by him, and I was pretty impressed by what he said there. But then he's got his other stuff too.
Yeah, because he just kind of rants and raves. So he just like goes off script for like an hour, right? And in that time, he's just kind of, he's just letting his emotions take him wherever he wants. Like it's just a roller coaster ride of.
Yeah.
Do you think they would try to polish him?
Good luck.
Who?
Like handlers?
I think he's who he is, and I think Trump's who he is. So like, you can have all these handlers you want, but when Trump wants to go off script, he's going to do it. When Kanye's going to go off script, he's going to do it. And people could laugh at Kanye right now, and I know a lot of people are. But I don't think it's purely a joke. If nothing else, I think he's going to make a good point about, hey, just because I'm black doesn't mean I have to vote for the Democratic Party.
Which I think is important.
So, because it talks about undeciding to run for president. It was when I was being offered the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Awards at MTV. I remember being at my mom's house, my mother-in-law, because my house was being worked on. She calls me son. I call her mom. I was in the shower thinking. I write raps in the shower. Hit me to say, "You're going to run for president." And I started laughing hysterically. I was like, this is the best. I'm going to go out there, and they're going to think I'm going to do these songs and do this for entertainment. How triggered awards shows are. Then say I'm going to be going to run for president. And I just laughed in the shower. I don't know for how long, but that's the moment that hit me. It's kind of weird how artists always have like their weird like symbolism of like, when they wrote a song or when they did like a painting or how jacked up on coke they were. And, like I was listening, I can't remember where it was, but Stephen King, like one of his best books he ever written, like Cujo, he doesn't remember writing it. He did like a 7-day binger. Like he said he just drank a bunch of Bud Light and did a bunch of cocaine and wrote the book and doesn't remember writing it.
Bud Light.
Isn't that weird?
Well, he wants to be healthy. You don't want to gain that weight. That's right.
But like, and so it's funny how they always have those visions. What were you gonna say, Andy?
I don't remember what I was
About
gonna say.
Kanye.
Yeah.
I think, and we don't got much more to say about Kanye West, but I don't know. I'm excited. It'd be something interesting to see what would happen.
Certainly be entertaining.
Yeah.
Who would you pick, Kanye, or if you had a choice between Jesse Ventura or Kanye, who would you pick?
Like as a serious candidate?
Yeah.
I mean,
for independent party.
I'd
for
go.
our party.
I'd go Jesse Ventura still, but.
Well, I don't know if this is a fair question because I don't know much about Jesse Ventura.
Well, he doesn't have time to bleed.
The
so
only
that should tell
time,
you a lot about him.
the only thing about him is his age would be, so that would be different. And I guess Kanye could probably get a lot more.
He's only like 60 something.
He was 69, I think,
69.
wasn't he? So by the time 2024 rolls around,
73.
I mean, yeah. So by that
getting
point,
up
he's
there.
already. I think Trump was. I think he might have been 70. What was he?
Trump's 71 now.
71 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Maybe too old.
I was thinking he was 73 now, but either way, it doesn't matter. It's like he would be pretty old. So hopefully, especially with the steroids in his past, hopefully his heart's good.
But no, it'll be interesting to see. Anything else you want to add, Andy?
I don't think so. Yeah, it'll be
right.
interesting.
All right. Peace out, guys.